Welcome to this week's episode. There are two pitfalls business owners fall in when they are solving problems inside of their business. They're either solving too many problems at once or they focus on the wrong problem first. Now, when you solve too many problems at once, you can easily break things that were actually working just fine. It's also hard to remember what you fixed and what the original state was because we don't always keep track of things, the things that we fix, right, in a constrained environment. Now, back in my biochemistry days, we would always have a control in all of our experiments. You always had the control to measure your current experiment against. The control was the baseline, and in the experiment, you would test one variation at a time. In that way, you could easily say that this variation, variation A, caused this, or variation B had this impact, right? Now, we actually need to do the same when we are solving problems or making changes inside of our business as well. Firstly, we need to know what one variable we are changing and also what the original state was before the change. So that if we need to go back because the change doesn't bring the expected outcome we want, we can do so, right? If we are just blindly making changes inside of our business, we can do more harm than good. Now, all problems inside of your business aren't equal either, right? In other words, some of the problems we are trying to solve inside of the business won't necessarily make meaningful differences to the business, right? Once we solve them, they don't necessarily have a major impact. We need to know which problem is the most important problem to solve right now. Which one, when we solve it, will make the biggest impact on the business right now. Now, the biggest, most important problem that requires your attention first is what we call the bottleneck inside of your business. It is that one thing that is stopping your business from flowing, right? The good news is that there can only ever be one of four bottlenecks inside any business at any given time. You either aren't attracting enough leads into your business, which means that you have an attraction bottleneck. Secondly, you might not be generating enough sales or turning leads into customers, which is a conversion bottleneck. Thirdly, maybe you aren't delivering on time, right? You're getting stuck on delivering the things that you promised to your clients in the time that you promised them. Then you have a delivery bottleneck. And lastly, maybe you don't have enough cash inside of your business. Then you have a cash flow bottleneck. Now, most business owners have a gut feel for where the current bottleneck is inside of their business, but they aren't always sure where to start solving it or how to unblock it. And this is why we need metrics. We need to track the right numbers inside our business and inside of each of these categories that I have just mentioned to solve for the current bottleneck, right? To see the current bottleneck. So you need to have metrics for attraction, for conversion, for delivery, and for the cash inside of your business. When you know your numbers, you will know exactly where the issue is and where to fix first, right? The type of metric you are tracking will give you an indication of how you're going to solve the problem as well. Now, solving anything but the current bottleneck inside your business is operating inefficiently. And if you want to move your business forward faster towards your goals, you need to always start any and all problem solving with the current bottleneck. And you shouldn't actually be focusing on anything else until that current bottleneck is solved. Now, I am hosting a workshop on the 30th of May at 11:30 a.m. And I am going to teach you a very simple tool that you can use that will help you to determine what your current bottleneck is. And I'm also going to help you come up with a solid plan to unblock it and get your business moving forward again. You will be able to use this tool over and over again in your business at any time going forward, because guess what? There is always going to be a bottleneck inside of your business that needs solving. So I want you to join me for the workshop by grabbing your ticket at ilonkaras.com/workshop. workshops. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode. I will see you again next week.